DreAllDay.com.
What's up, everybody? Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. We get into this week's Q&A. This is Q&A number 20. As always, I have not read any of these questions. I'm going to go right through the questions and answer them right now on the spot. That's all there is to it. Let's get right into it. Sadie Sal 1 says, what books taught you the most about being a leader and being a man? I wouldn't say any books in particular. I would say it's probably a combination of all the different books I read, all the experiences I've had, all the people I've known. There's not any one book that did it. But if you want to know some of my favorite books, first of all, if you go to my website, click on the link that says books I read. I got a page full of all the books that I read, all my favorite books, with reviews of all of them so you can see what they are and then you can read them for yourself. But off the top of my head, I would say Robert Greene's books, which would be 48 Laws of Power, 33 Strategies of War, and the 50th Law. Those three in particular. Tim Grover's Relentless is another one. Tim Ferriss's 4-Hour Work Week, and Tucker Max's work. Those are probably my favorite authors. Also Malcolm Gladwell, another one. Sirac Abraham says, how far do you want to go in basketball? As far as I'm going to go, wherever I go. Bilal 9-3 Ball says, I'm training every day, but I'm still pretty bad at shooting. Well, Bilal, you didn't ask me a question, so remember this is a Q&A, so it's not give me information, it's ask a question. Brandon Shimjuk says, I want to thank you for helping me get confidence in my own game. My question is, have you ever played in an adult league at the South Miami Community Center? Well, Brandon, first of all, you're welcome. I'm glad you got better at your game, and yes, I have played at that community center multiple times. Johnny Cakes 97 says, do you think it's important to watch NBA basketball to develop skills and become good? Because I watch basketball every now and then. I'm not a huge follower. I love playing and practicing to get better using your advice. Johnny, I wouldn't say it's important as in it's a requirement, as in it's something that you have to do, but the NBA does feature the best basketball players in the world. So if you're going to watch anybody play, you should watch the people who are at the highest level. So if you're going to watch them. Jake the Ball says, which NBA player, in your opinion, do you think you model your game after the most? I've been asked this question almost every week in the Q&A, and there is no NBA player who I model my game after. Babe Pimpin says, who are your favorite ball players growing up? Favorite players growing up, posted a vid on this probably like 2-3 months ago. I say Michael Jordan, of course, Penny Hardaway was another, Kobe Bryant, Vince Carter, Tracy McGrady, Steve Francis. Those probably be the top 5, I said. Slick Hotba says, how old were you when you decided basketball is your thing? Slick, read my book. It's called Buy a Game. B-U-Y-A Game. DreAllDay.com/buy-a-game is a free PDF you can read right online, or you can get it off Amazon for like $2.99 on Kindle version. Ambrose BKN says, how do I deal with other players who flop? Well, unless you're the NBA and you can fine them $5,000, there ain't nothing you can do. Keep playing. You don't control their flopping. If they flop, that means you should have an easy way to score a basket. Andrew Contreras says, I read that you make about $50K a year playing basketball overseas. Is this true? Well, overseas doesn't have a pay scale, and neither does the NBA. Actually, every player gets what they negotiate. So each individual player has their own contract. So that is maybe is accurate for whoever wrote it. Maybe that person made $50K, but each person who plays has their own contract. Adrian Morales says, can you put the merchandise I sell on Amazon? I might do that, Adrian. Thing is, when you put merchandise on Amazon, you have to pay Amazon for them to actually have it there. And the only way that would make it worth it for me is if I was selling enough to make back what I'm going to have to spend expenses just to have it on Amazon. So I don't know if I'm going to do that, but it is an idea. So thanks for the suggestion. Jake the Ball says, and you're honest? No. Ahmed Masood says, you ever been posterized or made fall? I don't know about posterized, which would be like a crazy chest-to-chest in your face dunk. I don't think I ever had that, but I've been dunked on before. Like try to block it, and somebody dunked it instead of me blocking it. And somebody ever made me fall, probably when I was young, maybe like 13, 14, playing in the gym like with friends and stuff like that. But nothing like crazy and nothing that's ever been caught on camera. Jake the Ball says, in your honest opinion, do you believe the NBA is rigged? No, I don't. Vladimir 1 says, how did the 2-hour pickup go with your old teammates? Any highlights? He's talking about some pictures I posted on Instagram, and it went fine. And no, we ain't got no video of it. We didn't record it. So it was a pickup run. It was fun, and that's all there is to it. Rob J says, what's your favorite book of all time? Prior to 48 Laws by Robert Greene. Ray Miza says, do you think you can still play NBA level or D-League level? Well, as long as I'm working out every day, I feel like I can play with anybody in the world. So when I get to the point where I'm not working out every day or trying hard to maintain or get better, then I won't be at that level. But now, do I still work out every day? Yes. Mr. Fourth Kid says, Dre, is getting into a zone performance-wise something that comes with the more practice you have, or is it something that's on and off at certain times? It was not about it being on and off, and it's also not about practice. It's about your mentality. So it's not about skills. It's not dribbling. It's not jumping. It's not how many miles you can run. It's not how much muscles you got. And it's also not about it being turned on and turned off. Because if we could all turn the zone on and off, we would all just stay in the zone 24 hours a day. Because we all perform at our highest level when we're in that zone. It's about getting there mentally, which is not easy. It's a difficult thing to do. And if you ever get there, you'll understand that, and you'll understand that it's not easy to bottle it up and be able to just do it on call. The only player whom I can recall who was able to get into it as the best was Michael Jordan. The next closest guy would probably be Kobe Bryant, and you can probably think back, you go look at a guy like Bill Russell. But other than that, nobody else who could just do it. It happens for us from time to time, but being able to actually make it happen on call is a very difficult thing. It's a mental challenge. It's not physical. Champ the First says, I seem to end up in people's mixtapes, quote unquote, very often. Like he gets dunked on or gets crossed over. When this happens, people stop picking him up from games. How can I stop getting embarrassed in order to maximize my balling time? Well, Champ the First, you can get better so that you don't get dunked on, so you don't get crossed over, so that maybe you can anticipate plays happening before they happen, so you're not caught on the losing end of a crossover or a dunk. So improve your game is what you need to do. And Andre Loboda. And also, actually, to go back to Champ the First, if you're playing against players who can play or players who are higher level than you, which you probably are since they're dunking on you or crossing you over or getting highlights on you, that stuff is going to happen. You know, you're going to get dunked and you'll get crossed over. But if you have confidence and you have game, then you can keep playing. Like if I go play in a pickup game right now and I get dunked on the first play, I'm not going to quit the game. I'm going to keep playing. I'm going to play in the next game. I'm going to get somebody to pick me up, or I'll get my own team and I'll play in another game. So you don't have to be picked up. When you're playing pickup basketball, you can have your own team and you can pick people up. So you don't have to get picked up. And when you have game, something like that could happen to you. Like every player you can name has been dunked on or crossed over. They didn't just quit playing. They kept playing. So if you got game, keep going. Next question, Andre Loboda says, which NBA point guard do you think you can take one-on-one? Well, we had to play the game for me to say I could take somebody one-on-one. I'm not in the business of saying I could beat somebody in the game unless we actually playing in that game. Jeezy Dog PSN says, can you break down your whole concept of don't think? I've already broken it down. If you've seen the video I did on the zone and all the mental weekly motivation / mental game videos I've done, which over 200 are posted on YouTube, all you gotta do is search those or go to the playlist on my channel where they are all organized in groups. You can watch those videos and then you'll understand it. It's not something that can be put into a simple little box that you can read for 30 seconds and understand it. It's something that you have to work on mentally. The mental game, it requires just as much work as the physical game. It's not simple. There are no shortcuts. And there's not a little tidbit I can hand to you that you're just going to understand it because I just said it in 10 seconds. Lakers fan 2425 says, how many hours of free time do you have? How many hours of free time do I have? I don't know. I don't know how to answer that question. Free time, first of all, you had to describe what you describe as free time, what you determine to be free time. And even if I could determine that, it's not my priority to tell you how much of it that I have. It's only for me to know. Hooper Journey 5 says, is it true that double rims make your shot better? I've never heard that. I wouldn't say it's a true or false thing. I think that's a matter of opinion. So you had to ask the person who told you that or whoever you heard that from. If they believe it, then I guess it's true for them, but I wouldn't say they speak for everyone. Johnny Adane says, this might sound like a stupid question. When a person buys a signature workout, like the Allen Iverson workout he's talking about on hoophandbook.com, is it theirs to keep forever? The answer is yes, it is. Brandon Brooks says, I recently discovered you through watching a Verse 1 Federation video, because we did a video together last summer with Verse 1 Q&A. And he said, I watched a couple of vids. I discovered you were the top dog on there. And he said he discovered that I was the top dog on there. I guess he means Verse 1 without even playing in verse 1 against any players in verse 1. I don't know where he got that. I don't know how he decided that, but okay, let's see what the rest of his question is. He said, I wanted to know, who am I and how did I get so relevant? I know you're in the summer serious game from watching a Kick Genius video, and I just wanted to know if I could message him or send him a link to a video to explain how I blew up. Well, Brandon, that's an interesting question. Well, first of all, if you want to know who I am, I mean, you came to my Q&A and asked me a question, so I think you might have some idea of who I am. So why don't you, while you're actually watching this video, go look through my channel. I got over 3,000 videos posted here on YouTube. I have a website called DreAllDay.com. And if you look through all those videos and all of my website, I think you'll have more than a good idea of who I am. So that's the answer to your question. Cliff Stevens says, do you believe in talent or everything is achieved with hard work and practice? Well, Cliff, it can be a combination of both. Working hard and practicing a lot is a talent too, or a skill, or whatever you want to call it. I mean, it's kind of a blurred line between what is talent, what is skill, what's the definition. We all have different ways of looking at it. So it doesn't have to be, it's not an either or type of question, Cliff. And he says, I'm looking forward to how to gain basketball IQ video because it's always been a huge problem of mine. Yeah, that'll be out, I believe, in the next week or so. So yeah, look forward to that. And then take the information that I give in the video, then you have to go apply it. So it's not the video that's going to answer all your questions, it's actually the information you take from the video and then the actions you take with the information that I shared that's going to make the difference. Tyson Dye says, Dre, oh, he was just laughing at something I said in the last video. M Production says, can I make a John Wall hoop handbook? I believe in the next batch that I put out, John Wall will be included. So thanks for the question. Truly Based TV says, I understand that once you download or you save a hoop handbook, you get a link. Once you download it, can I transfer it to any other device? Yes, you can. Yehitz Phil says, your Buy a Game book was good. Are you going to write another? He's referring to Buy a Game, a book I mentioned earlier in this video. And thank you for liking it. Am I going to write another? Well, yes, I've actually written 2 others. I wrote the Mental Handbook and the Mirror of Motivation. Those are both available at, you go to my author website, which is DreAllDay.me. And if you go on Amazon and just search my name, you'll see not only those 3 books, but all the hoop handbooks also you can get via Amazon. You can also get them via iBooks/iTunes. L Spain 21 says, I got the vertical jump hoop handbook, or I don't know if he means the jump manual, whichever one. He says he can touch the net. How long until he gets results? Do the program. You bought the program to get the results, right? So do the program and then you'll have your answer. Bobo Love says, interesting fact, if you exercise too much, you can die, and it's been proven. No, I don't think so. I think that's a lie. That's just something that a lazy person told you, and you believed it because you might be lazy like them. Dmitry Chukovich says, what's my opinion on the state of today's hip-hop, the quality of music, as opposed to 90s rap? He thinks it's okay, although there are some rappers who just use the N-word all over the song and sound awful. You got to ask me a more specific question than what's my opinion on today's hip-hop. This is not really a hip-hop video. It's not a hip-hop channel either, so ask me something more specific than what's my opinion on hip-hop. Anthony Aguilar says, do I think the Lakers will make the playoffs next year? It's too early to tell. It depends on what they do with their current free agents, the rookies, whoever they bring in, and of course Kobe Bryant and whatever free agents they might bring in from outside teams. So it's too early to say. Joey Cowley says, keep it up with the videos. Thank you, Joey. Mikey DeBlack says, I subconsciously dribble the ball, basically skimming my palm, the palm of my hand. I know it shouldn't touch my palm though, however my handle is still decent. Do I continue that way or switch to fingertips as quickly as possible? Well, Mikey, I made a video about this probably about a month ago. The whole thing about the basketball not touching your palm when you dribble is a 100% myth. That is not true. If you go to a basketball court and try to only dribble the ball using your fingertips, it wouldn't make any sense. You wouldn't be able to control the ball. So anybody who can dribble a basketball, watch them dribble, put it in slow motion. Anybody who dribbles, I don't care. It could be Allen Iverson, Chris Paul, your favorite ball handler. Get a video of them dribbling. Get it off YouTube, wherever y'all get videos. Watch it on TV and put it in slow motion and watch them dribble. You will see the ball touching their entire hand. Their entire hand will be covering the basketball, which means the palm of their hand is touching the ball. There's no such thing as your palm not touching the ball. There's no such thing as only dribbling with your fingertips. That's just some bullshit. I don't know where it be. I don't even know where it came from. But I hear a lot of you young players talking about that, so it's 100% not true. And even if you do touch the basketball with your palm, so what? That's not a violation. It's not against the rules for the basketball to touch your palm. So why would you not do it? If it helps your dribbling, why would you not do it? That makes no sense at all. Think about it. So even when somebody tells you something that you're not supposed to do or that you definitely should do in basketball, don't just take it at face value just because somebody told you it. I don't care who it is, even if it's me. Ask yourself, if I was to take that information and apply it, would it make sense? If the answer is no, then don't use the information. Y'all have to learn to be independent thinkers. Just because somebody says something doesn't mean it's true. I don't care who they are, where they come from, or what they do, what their qualifications are. All right, everybody, thank you for the questions for this week's Q&A. This is Q&A number 20. If you have a question that I haven't answered, I ain't even going to say the previous video, so I know y'all don't be watching people just come in here and leave comments. Leave comments on this video. Do not respond to the comments of anyone else's question. I will get to them, and that's that. Work on your game, DreAllDay.com. Add a guaranteed 10 inches to your vertical, not a maybe 10 inches. A guaranteed 10 inches to your vertical. Go to DreAllDay.com/jump. Get the jump manual. When you get it, I'm going to give you 5 free pen books or any free DVD. All you got to do is email me the receipt. DreAllDay.com/jump.
So, with that being said, it's Trey,
J. Jones,
Kick Genius.
work on your game. We
Yeah.
out.
Yeah.